Okay, welcome once again to another episode of Ikezi Talk Sports. And I have with me here again my co-host, well
Oh,
well
I'm co-host
knowledge,
now.
well
I'm co-host now.
vast, well vast, in the knowledge and principles that govern the game. And today we want to do the post-match review for the Chelsea versus Arsenal game. Now, here's the thing. I didn't want to, at the end of the game, quickly grab my mic and then start reacting. I wanted to assimilate that game. I wanted to take my time, not react like everyone is reacting, try to see things objectively, try to watch the game again, right? And then see the
Hmm.
things that people missed and stuff like that. And then I was able to do that and then now here we are, to talk about the game and see, what are the talking points for the game, at the end of the day. So not to waste further time, so here's the thing, right? A lot of Chelsea fans, let's start with this. A lot of Chelsea fans, the previous videos that we've been dropping, they've been bookmarking those things. There are certain clues that says Caicedo is not world class. I said, there was this video that we did prediction, and then I think you said you wanted 5 goals. I said I wanted 4. They were bookmarking. Nobody commented though. I was seeing it bookmarking. When I put the link in the WhatsApp group, people were bookmarking these things. In fact, when Chelsea scored, immediately Chelsea scored that first goal like this. Jesus Christ. People were coming for me. You said we're going to score 4. Here we are. The game finished 1-1. And I did say, and what I kept telling them was, if they watch the full clip, aside the banter, because of course there's always going to be an element of banter in these episodes, right? But we are going to be realistic at the end of the day. We did say it was going to be a close game, right? And being Arsenal fans, you can't tell I cannot expect that. I can't be predicting and say my team would lose. I have to, give my team the edge. And I said it was going to be a 2-1, but as we would have it, the game ended in a 1-1 draw. So that banter, I'm still going to banter them. I'm still going to banter them in this episode. They cannot escape it. I've already told them I'm not leaving their neck this entire season. They should just know. I would like to hear from you, Swiss, what your thoughts are, concerning that game.
One of the things we sign up for when you decide to start airing your opinions on the internet is
To-
there's no nuance. We
Yeah.
don't argue or give our opinions with nuance on social media. It's mostly from extremes. So you have to be ready for that. About the game, yesterday I was so upset. I was
Everyone
so
should be
annoyed.
upset.
My head was hot. I was so pissed. But which is normal when you experience a derby and then a game like that. But like then when I haven't had the chance to watch it again, but I've tried to replay some of the moments of the game in my head
Yeah.
and some of the things that I don't want to talk about Chelsea as from the negative side, but they leave me no choice. Even Arteta said it in his post-match conference. He alluded to it. It wasn't a lot of football. It was
It
a lot of
wasn't.
passion, but it wasn't a lot of football. I can't remember a 3-minute spell
Yeah.
of that game where the ref didn't have to intervene. I can't remember
And I
because
think
I feel
the referee Anthony Taylor, I think he set a
yeah
terrible precedent. When I was
with the
watching
first
that
with the
game,
first booking. Yeah,
the first booking, I think it was three
the first
minutes, and he
booking.
booked
Yeah, it
Zubimendi.
was 3 minutes.
There was a
And
Chelsea fan that were watching the game together, my friend Tolu, and I told him, I said, this game, this yellow card that he has given to Zubimendi, he has set a terrible precedent for this game because now
yeah,
it's going to be under unnecessary scrutiny, and it's going to be
yeah.
dishing out yellow card, and that was what happened. It's a derby. The game is always going to be physical. Allow for these tackles, but then.
And
Uh,
then there's that. I don't really have a lot of tactical explanations to make, and that's mainly because so I know my team.
yeah,
I know what we are capable of doing.
Playing from
And
SoFunds
over the
via
past,
TV.
pardon Alexa in the background, it does that a lot.
it's
And
okay.
over the past 3 years at least, when we lose a game, when Arsenal loses a game, chances are we were not at our standards. It's not rocket science to really figure out why did Arsenal lose that game or why did they not play well. Chances are we did not do the basics the way we would do them
Yeah,
normally. So it wasn't a difficult thing for most people to understand that this is why Arsenal didn't play well in that game. And then technically we were very poor. And a large part of it, I promise you, is because we were missing both of our center backs.
yeah,
I'm saying that it's not an excuse. I'm saying that if you were missing
Oh
one of
no.
them, it was fine. But missing two of them, this is like the
Hmm.
first time none of them is playing is starting a Premier League game in none of them. Maybe in 3 years. I
So
can't
here's
remember
the
the
thing.
last time
So here's
both
the
of them
thing.
didn't start.
I'm not even, because in the conversations that I have with my my friends, my rival fans, like in different WhatsApp groups, the conversation was, I kept alluding to, I'm not even giving an excuse for,
No, it's not an excuse. It's just
we
that's
don't
what it
have
is,
our
though.
center backs. That's fine. So the narrative is we spent so much over the summer to have that quality in depth, right? And
Which we
if we have
do.
that quality, which we do, and honestly, I do not think that the fact that Saliba and Gabriel were missing in that game decided how the game was going. Like, I don't think it had like a major effect. And here's why.
I okay,
Yeah,
go on.
here's why. Because when you look at how Chelsea, set up to play, and the first few minutes of the game, even before Caicedo got a red card, they were dominant. They had much more of the ball, but that dominance did not was not in our defensive third. So it wasn't at the point where the centre backs were like really affected. I think the only reason why I would say we felt their absence is maybe in how we progressed the ball from the back, because obviously in Kapie and Moscara, they don't have that same ability in progressing the ball from the back. But it was always going to be a a close game, a game where there wasn't really going to be a lot of build up. As I mean, Chelsea's not going to allow you to come to Stamford Bridge and dominate and be building up the game and stuff like that. Be controlling possession. I always knew that was going to happen, right? So I would, in my opinion, I think, and I said something in the preview. I said there was something I was certain something I was going to look out for in that game, which is the attitude, the passion. I wanted to see the mentality, right? I wanted us to turn up to Stamford Bridge and bully them, regardless of whatever the context is. That is the mindset of champions. And like you said earlier, that was I think it was our second worst performance of the season, by the Manchester United game.
Yeah.
I mean, after the Manchester United game, rather. So that makes me worried in a way. It makes me worried in a way. Now, it's not like I'm doubting that we'll go all the way or any of that. We're still in November, December, right? But the fact that we could not go there and do what I expected I would do. Yes, if you put in context, it's been a long week, Bayern Munich, Tottenham, and stuff like that. But these are season defining moments, in my opinion, right? It's a season defining moments, in my opinion. I was really disappointed that the team couldn't really capitalize, especially after Chelsea got the red card. Especially after we got the red card, I think we were slow. We were very just giving away fouls. Everyone was sloppy. I was disappointed in Miles Lewis Kelly. Came on, and after like 3 minutes, he got a yellow card. I'm like, come on, this is not the Arsenal that we all know. But then again, kudos to Chelsea, and the reason I say is because they stepped up.
They
Chelsea
set up
gave what I
they set up
expected
very well.
Arsenal was going to give.
They
They,
set up
s-
very well.
yeah, they stepped up very well, but they individually they stepped up. Aside from
Reece
Caicedo,
James,
who I
bro.
thought was,
Reece James. I hate to say it, but Reece James, man.
oh yes, I mean
That's
Reece James,
that's,
what a phenomenal
that's
player.
good.
That's
That's
how
good.
leaders, that's how you define leaders. So when the chips are down, the person that steps up, that's a real and genuine leader. I thought Declan Rice was brilliant for us as well.
Oh,
Obviously we didn't win the game, so his performances are swept under the carpet in a type of way. But Reece James was immense. You see those Esteval, Cucurella. We all know what happened now.
honestly, man, I also think that I love I love Saka.
Yeah.
He had a good game against Kukulera, but I think in the final, and it's crazy because even on a bad day in quotes that he
Mm.
had, especially in the final third, he still created like two brilliant chances that he scored from one. So it's
Those were not his best. That was not his best performance. I.
and even that, it just tells you the level that
Mm-hmm.
that is on. So what I just think is that I hear what you're saying about still being able to dominate the game and all of that. Well, it's more mental, it's more intangible in the sense that when you have none of your starting centre backs, the reason why Declan Rice and Zubimendi can play in midfield and forget about what is happening at the back and focus on what is happening in front of them is because they have someone or two people that they trust at the back. Now I'm not saying they don't trust Kapi and Mosquera, but there's a level of connection that you build from playing together that reaches a level of assuredness. and especially in a big game like that, it was a bit much for them. So there was a clip of Declan Rice
Yeah, I saw that clip where he
guiding the
was
two of
guiding
them.
them. Yes, he
He
was guiding
he
them.
would not
Saying, "Oh, to
really,
step
yeah,
back and oh, to step
he would
forward"
not
at
really
certain
have to
times.
do that if he
Yeah,
had the established people that, or one of them.
one of
He's
them.
one of them that would guide the other. He won't be have to bother about if you get what I mean.
Yeah,
So there's that. But the game is done. The game is the game.
game is
It
the
was a
game.
draw. We'll see
Yeah,
them in the Emirates next
of
year,
course, and
and
where they will get battered. Like I always say,
and this makes it 8 years now, and they
yes,
haven't.
they haven't
Yeah.
beaten us, and long may that continue. They come, they
Yeah,
know
so
they are
talking
coming to
about
the
the
Emirates to
context
get
and all of
battered.
that, it's also been a tough week. Also, I have this is not an agenda, but I have a bit of an issue with Madueke left wing. Please don't quote me wrong. Madueke left
Left
wing.
wing.
Left wing. All the few times that I've seen him play on the left wing, like the version of Madueke on the left and the version of him on the right, they are
Yeah, yeah.
completely different.
I think that is the structures
And,
on the
he's
left
still
are
learning.
different.
There was a clip, there was a part of the game where he got the ball and then went back. He got the ball and I thought I was like, go, like.
So I get your point, right? And I did see those those moments, but I also think that he's new to the team. If
He's
you
more
if you if you remember
on
when
the
we
left.
got Trossard, there was a particular game. I think it was the Brentford game. I can't remember the game where
Yeah.
Ateta was yelling, or it was the assistant coach that was yelling at him, giving him instructions how to play on that left side, how to stay wide. And this is a seasoned, Premier League player, right, with a lot of experience. What I'm saying is, when a new player comes to the team, it takes time to adapt. Obviously, we bought him for the right hand side, but because of the state of the game, he had to play on the left. So it will take time for you to get used to the instructions and stuff
Of
like
course,
that. So I
that's what I'm
think,
saying that right now.
but the fact
That's what
that
I
he
mean,
can
like
play
left
left
wing.
and play good
That's
things
what I
for
mean,
us.
left wing. Like right now, his version of Madueke on the left and on the right is completely different.
Completely
But I
different.
also think he's still learning that left wing position. His angles are a bit off sometimes when he receives the ball. Like the way he receives it it's supposed to be in an attempt to stretch
To
and
stretch.
drag the opposition defender to this side so you can take it. But somebody it is a bit hesitant, which I understand. He's not very comfortable there. He's learning the role, to be fair, because left wing is not a role that he has played consistently, even though he played a little bit there last season with Chelsea. We'll get better. I'm not saying right now, especially because of how frustrating that game was for me yesterday. I guess I wanted someone that could, do
It's
something
okay.
on the left. But it's all right. We have
But
Brentford on
yeah,
Wednesday.
we have
Let us.
Brentford. But moving forward, let's. I want to give Chelsea their flowers. I
No,
think
they
I
set up well.
I want to give Chelsea their flowers, and
Also, this is not an
just a
excuse.
couple of things that I would say. Right, I think their
Mm.
goalkeeper was immense. I think
Yeah,
that
yeah.
James was immense. I think to some extent, their centre back pairing, Chaloba, Fofana, I think they did brilliant. I wasn't convinced by Cucurella's performance, and that's because he met his owner, which is Saka. Saka had a bad game, but even at that,
But no,
Cucurella
even with
could not.
Cookie, nah.
So what he was doing
There's
against Lamine Yamal, I thought he could come. Of course, he knows Lamine Yamal and Saka, in terms of experience of how to deal with Cucurella, they are levels apart, and they expose
Yeah,
Cucurella.
yeah.
It's not all that in my book, but good left back. Anyways, Caicedo, that was a horrendous display, and here's why. From the beginning of that game, I don't know. It's almost like he wanted to prove a point. I felt he was doing too much. He was just being
Like he
aggressive
played with how did they say,
for
like
no
he played
reason.
with a chip on his shoulder
With
or
the chip,
something, like
I'm like, in
yeah,
my head,
it
I'm
just
like, did
it felt
maybe he
like he felt the
watched,
need to prove something.
that my clip where I said it's not work like he wanted to prove himself. Now see,
No,
there was no
that's my
need for
thing with
that
them.
tackle.
I understand aggression
Eh?
in derbies. I get it,
It's just
but you also need
it's
to
a hyped.
manage it. You also need to manage
You
it.
know,
I understand the aggression. You need to manage it. You can, and it's funny because Arsenal were by our standards we were poor,
yeah,
and we were there for the taking in a way. He didn't have to make that challenge. Like
he did not.
they were on top of the game. He literally ruined the game for them.
And in my opinion, it speaks to his mentality.
No,
I'm
and
sorry to
also,
say,
I'm telling you,
and also the collective mentality of the team, and
I'm
that's one
saying
of the
there's
issues
a
that I've been
reason.
having.
There's a reason they've had the most red
Their
cards.
discipline this season, their
Yeah,
level of indiscipline this season
yeah.
is not sustainable. I think they have like 8 or 9 red
Yes,
cards so
it's too
far,
much. It's too
and
much.
you cannot be talking. You can't be saying this and say you are title contenders. I'm sorry, good performance in Stamford is your house. I
Yeah,
expected nothing less, but
you should play for pride.
I'm not convinced. If you're going
Before
to
we
play
go
for
to
pride, you don't play for pride and
before we go to Brentford, I want to say something. Do you remember last season when we went to the Etihad Stadium and Trossard got a red card? I don't know. It was quite early in the game, first half as well. And we had to play about 65 minutes with 10 men. And we held on to 2-1 until like the last kick of the game when John Stones
Yeah.
scored. Do you remember the narrative around Arsenal and how much of a terrible team we were for trying to hold on to a
Yes.
lead?
They expected us to attack, and then they said that we came to play for a draw. I think it was some disgusting narrative.
And
The players were
somehow,
deflated at the end of the game because it felt
and
like 2
somehow,
points dropped.
and somehow, Chelsea is being applauded for.
So that tells you the difference in the levels. That's
Exactly.
it. That tells. I'm not going to say this an
That's
agenda
where
by
I'm
the
going.
media. That tells you the difference in the levels. It tells you that
That's where
they are
I'm going.
not there yet.
But to be fair, I think they're a good team. They have some really good players.
And their manager, Maresca, what's his name? You said,
yeah.
Before I even get to the manager, Chelsea fans kept saying, if Caicedo didn't get red carded, if not for the red card, if not for the, why did you get the red card? Did we say you should collect the red card?
What I'm even saying is that this is not this is not a controversial. It's not a controversial red card. This is not a delay, a restart, and he got yellow card or he got booked twice. This is not a he made a foul or he kicked the ball. The referee already blew the whistle. This is a dangerous play. Like it's not a you don't do that in a derby. You don't. It doesn't make any sense.
Anyways, that's all. That's all I would say in terms of.
I'm happy with it still. I'm happy that
their flowers.
I'm happy that even with on days that we are poor by our standards, we are not dropping many points.
Not dropping many points. Not to the likes of Chelsea. I would rather eat grass than watch my team drop. Lose to Chelsea.
I don't know why it's happened twice now in the same season. I tweeted about it as well. Twice in the same season, in 2 seasons. You remember last season as well? It was 1-1, and then we created one chance where I think it was Trossard
in the final minutes
that diverted the game. Yesterday, something similar happened.
Yeah. And that would have changed the narrative of the game completely. But like I said, these are the fine margins that define the game. I don't even want to be. All of that is done, is dusted. Chelsea, they've been jubilating all over social media as though they've gained points. It was a 5-point gap. It was a 6-point gap before the game. It's still a 6-point gap now. And Stamford Bridge is out of the way. I don't know why they are focusing on us. Man City is already ahead of them, and they are still going to play Man City twice. I don't know why they are shouting.
Brentford. Are you worried about Brentford?